Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at Lumen Field in downtown Seattle. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. Set to go now on a prototypical rainy northwestern afternoon. And off we go from Seattle. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Give him a little extra credit there. His head was cool as the play broke down. Didn't force a throw, and in the end, got to show off his athleticism with a nice gain to bring up a new set of downs.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Got his man. It's London. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 19. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They'll try the left side. Barrett. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Jamal Adams coming up from his safety spot to make the play.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. This to Pitts, and he's got him. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now a play fake here on first down. Being chased out left. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they really played well a week ago in that win over the Jets.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Over the middle, complete. It's Craig. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A 1st down and then some. Give him 29 yards. And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. The Seahawks at 12-4 now on the year. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Lorenzo Carter from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field.
He tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Barrett. And he's got room. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. 60 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. On 2nd down, it's Barrett, and I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. It'll go, it's no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Desmond Ridder scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Falcons lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
It's a big play there for Seattle. 41 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Walker now on 1st and 10. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun, Melvin. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
On 3rd down, Melvin. And this pass broken up. The contact well-timed there, and now 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
He had the distance, but it's no good. Wide to the right, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got 2 division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
2nd and 9 now. He finds his man complete. That's Barrett. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. He felt the pressure coming there. That was a good job of just making something out of nothing, so to speak.
Yeah, took the hit and still made the play. You know, when we talk about runners, all right, on running plays, runs after contact, we call that getting dirty yards, tough, gritty ones. To me, that's like the version of a dirty pass. He knows he's going to get smacked, yet still delivers the football and picks up good yardage.
The 71 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
On 2nd down now, it's Barrett. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The offense on 3rd down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 7. He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Up the middle, here's Walker. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
To throw on 3rd down, Melvin. And incomplete on the deep ball.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And wow, the fair catch was signaled for and taken inside the 5-yard line. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Ready.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On 2nd down, it's Barrett. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. 79 yards on the ground for him so far.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Check pitch.
On 1st down, Barrett, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Looking to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. It's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction. and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
A pretty good effort there, 9 yards, but not enough. We'll likely see the punt team now on 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to 1st down.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
On 4th down, Bradley Pinion on to punt for the Falcons.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at about the 14. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Off play action. Melvin.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Melvin. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. And just a net of 31 here, 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He finds his man, complete. That's Barrett. And some space here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 17 yards and a 1st down for Atlanta.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive linemen. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Barrett.
94 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
On the set.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will extend their lead even further. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again, Melvin. And that is incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun, Melvin. The catch is made here by Tyler Lockett.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Up the middle they go. It's Barrett. And some room to maneuver. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Another good run there. He's been good all season long. I don't know if he's going to win that MVP award, but just to be in the discussion, obviously that means he's had a great run.
The raw numbers put him in the discussion. Can he carry his team to enough victories? Can he put them in a spot where we say to ourselves, well, an MVP carries his team to the playoffs. That's what he's going to need in order to get that award.
Just to pick up a 3, but that is indeed enough.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
And a dangerous throw there on the drop-off. Incomplete, nearly intercepted.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
On second down, it's Walker.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Straight ahead, Walker.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the 1st down. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Left side complete to Lockett.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
They'll try for the 1st with Walker.
And he's got the 1st as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. He finds his target, Allen. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19. Looking to throw. Melvin. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
Grover Stewart getting in there for the sack.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Well, you don't have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
No, if you do that.
And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown.
4 yards on the touchdown grab.
And the Seahawks are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the 2nd half.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that cuts this lead down to 13. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up. And the Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field. Back to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this throw will be intercepted.
Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
Here's Walker to start the drive.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Melvin. He's going to rifle one deep left side.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to have it here just past the 25.
Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed the quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
He's got to figure something out because the current formula's not working.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Now a handoff up the middle. Barrett.
And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to small up the ball carrier.
Out of the gun now on third down.
That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of feet in bounds. They say that's a catch.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Ready, break.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
So many things have to go right for any passing play to work out. Quarterback has to understand the defense, deliver an accurate ball. Receiver has to concentrate and bring it in. Somewhere along the assembly line, something was off with that one.
They'll look to throw again. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need.
Jordan Brooks with it. And the Seahawks are right back in this football game.
That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Melvin. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. That's taken on the 25. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. There are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Up the middle they go. It's Barrett. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Craig.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up. They've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? He lets it fly from Lockett. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Arnold Wk18
able to get in there and run him down for what's going to be a loss of 15 yards all told. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Back to throw. Melvin. He lets it fly for Lockett. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They're down 2 scores, and they need a quick one to try and get back into this one. That was one way to try and get it done. Unsuccessful in the attempt, but they have no choice but to keep trying.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that's caught inside the 30.
And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Melvin escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Back to throw again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Tarvarius Moore.
And the Falcons are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes.
Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win the game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. No gain on the play there. Second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
Into the hands of London. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Now a handoff up the middle. Barrett. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and out will come the offense as they take over. They're on to the 4th quarter now, by the way, at Bank of America Stadium in Carolina. The Cardinals had on to their lead. They just scored. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked by Tarvarius Moore.
And the Falcons are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready.
At their own 24. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
On 2nd down now, it's Barrett. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll drop to throw. Steps away.
That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he is going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Barrett. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tackle made that time by B.J. Hill.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Ready?
On 2nd down, it's Barrett. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll look to throw here. And that will be incomplete.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fielded just inside the 20. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. In motion, the tight end. Throwing again. Melvin. And this is intercepted. And that should do it.
And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Ready.
The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for Atlanta,
they finish off the regular season at 12 up and 5 down.
And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks,
they finish up the regular season with a mark of 12 and 5.
And as division champs, they will host a playoff game next week in the wild card round.